work from your job site. Okay. Did they build this bridge in Missouri through the Mississippi River in that place?
Yes. $65 million.
We had a great night today in Kellogg, and our professor Cherno gave us a tour in Global Hub, and we enjoy a lot. We have wine, we had a great time. And today Ankit joined me for our conversation interview night, and I think in this program a lot of great people with great experience, and they came to be even better. And I want to record this story for a future, because people see what's going on today, but they can predict what will happen 15, 20, 25 years. And I believe some of people can be like CFO, CEO, maybe president, and it'll be great to see our beliefs, our views in 15, 20 years. Ankit, please introduce yourself a little bit, your background, what you do for living.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Roman. My name is Ankit Shah. I'm an MBA student here at Kellogg. I did structural engineering from Penn State. I have a bachelor's and a master's from Penn State, and I'm currently doing the MBA here. I'm the executive director for a steel fabrication company. It's located in Gary, Indiana. We specialize in bridge steel fabrication. I was born in Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, wow. Again, I didn't know that. See, I don't know, we half a year together in school and I don't know a lot of details.
Yeah, it's been a journey. You know, I was born there. I grew up there for 15 years. Then I immigrated to US in 2000, and then basically I did my high school and my universities and everything here. I've worked for several firms, design firms, steel fabrication companies, but mostly in the bridge industry. So the last 15 years, I've been doing bridge. Hopefully, I'll continue doing bridge, but maybe
you
on
enjoy
the business side of it. Yes, I do.
You enjoy it.
I'll show you some of the stamps, like all of these columns and stuff like that you see. Mm-hmm. It actually has the Carnegie stamp. So
wow,
the steel that was built back in like 1900, early 1900 from Pittsburgh.
Crazy.
You will actually be able to see some of them. Hopefully, I'll show you some of the stamps. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's Carnegie steel.
Carnegie steel.
So this was built back in 1900s, right? Early 1900s.
Carnegie steel.
This is how a raw material plate looks like when it comes in.
But you get it from where?
We get it from these plates. We get it from either Cleveland Cliffs, which is 10 miles from here, or there are a couple of other mills in the country. There's North Carolina. They have a mill there. They have one in I think it's Alabama. Wow. But you can see some of the railroad. So railroad girders are the ones that are like very heavy and bulky and stuff. They would have flanges that are like this thick. This is a 4-inch thick flange right here.
Steel.
4 inches thick.
Wow. And we also in this vlog will show that America still have factories and we still produce stuff.
That's right.
We build bridges. So everyone's probably thinking they buy a bridge from China.
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
Companies like us are not necessarily like, a Fortune 500 company. We're actually privately owned. Our revenues, yearly revenues are roughly $75 to $100 million.
Wow.
So they're still a small mom and pop shop, if you will. I'm not talking about.
If
like
you're talking about public,
but if you're talking about like public traded companies, we're relatively
but it's still
small.
a big company.
Yes. I mean, the projects that we do are pretty large projects, like I-74 project. Several of our projects are in Chicago too. There's a mile-long bridge. Several girders are fabricated right there. So our major market is we will ship anywhere 500-mile radius from Gary, Indiana.
This right here is a cutting station. Wow. So the plates that come there, the smaller parts, they put on this machine, and you can see there's holes, right? They've actually cut out pieces from this machine. It's the Farley.
Is this American equipment or?
Farley is Italian.
Italian. What about cranes?
So cranes, there's DeMark. You'll see the sign for the cranes. but they are usually made in the US. These equipments, they are more specialized and they are more cutting edge. This particular one is from Italy. And there are German-made machines and stuff like that too.
Is this magnet?
Yes,
Magnet.
that's magnet. So a plate can easily be 40,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds.
Oh, especially those big ones, right?
Oh, the thick ones are even more. All shops might have like 20-ton, 40-ton cranes, but moving a 100-ton piece all throughout the shop, that's only a handful of shops in the country can do. So this is what I'm talking about. This entire length from
1 mile, half mile.
half mile. So I don't have to do exercises. If I go and I walk, I make one circle, I come back, I get my 2 miles. I guess we'll probably go from the other side. So
You don't want them to go. Yeah.
Let's just go from the other side. That's what I think other people need to see as well. You know.
Yeah. They're driving on the highway, they think it's just...
But they'll never see it in this scale. Then that's why it takes a lot of time when you're putting it together. When you're checking the geometry, you're putting all the pieces, all the stuff together. But taking it apart, you've already checked everything. So just taking out the bolts and you just take the pieces off.
Tell me a little bit more about your day routine in work. Like exactly, you manage like people, you doing like delegation, projects. How your day looks like?
Well, that's a good question. My day actually is different day to day, Mondays and Tuesdays, depending on what meetings I have. But I am overseeing basically all departments, right? I oversee engineering, production, quality control, finance, accounting, engineering, So you basically have a lot of different meetings all through the day, depending on the day of the week. Usually my Thursdays are the heaviest because I have production meetings at that time. So trying to look at exactly what the efficiencies are, what has been fabricated. And at the same time, you have to have forward-looking statements. So I'm in charge of sales and estimating as well. So you have to, look for the newer projects that are coming up for bids, to look forward thinking. So my typical day is a lot of meetings with all the different departments.
Can you work from home?
No, I mean, I can, but
It's not easy.
no, you're not setting the right tone for your employees, right? If I'm gonna go and tell the welder, well, we can't build a bridge remotely, you have to come and work. And then I'm like, no, but I can work from home. That you're not sending the right message.
Yeah. It's about culture. You need to build culture.
Correct.
How it's supposed to be.
Correct.
Yeah, I like what Elon Musk said. It's about work from home, and people hate you, but I think he's very right about that. Like you need to work from your job site.
That's correct.
No work from home. Very wrong.
It's important. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, can you work remotely? Yes, but if you want to send the same message to your entire team, it's important that you yourself be an example of it.
I'm 100% sure you will reach what you plan. What is your big goal? Or what is your big dream?
Well, I mean, big dream is to basically, I don't want to switch professions. Like some people want to do the MBA and switch professions. I'm not in that particular category. I want to scale up, right? I mean, basically, so right now, as I said, I oversee $75 to $100 million of revenue. But I would like to see manufacturing on a larger scale, right? I mean, best example I can give you is like Intel, right? It's also doing manufacturing, but it's doing chips. But their scale of operation, for example, is one, geography, right? I mean, all of these geographic locations of multiple plants. And you're talking about 10, 20, 30 billion dollars worth of manufacturing that's happening. So the scale is huge, right? That is basically the goal, to be a C-level executive in a company that does engineering or manufacturing.
I mean, you want to be a CEO.
That's the goal.
Do you have difficulties to find good quality people?
Yes.
It's a problem for your industry as well.
Yes. Labor is, and most importantly, skilled labor. It's not about just getting a person, but it's about getting the right welder or the right fitter, someone that actually wants to build this, right? Because remember, this is not It's not an office job. You're not sitting in front of a computer and doing stuff, right? This is actually building the stuff, all hands on deck.
And now it's not that popular to do something like that. People want to sit in the office.
People want to sit and they want to work from home and remote. How can I have a work from home and build a bridge?
We have the same problem. People don't want. I want to ask you about this. The first time I see vending machine with this, you can buy a stuff.
So basically what we're doing is we're trying to make sure that all the employees are, they actually keep their equipments in shape.
They have own equipment.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all provided by the company, but we want to make sure that they are keeping track of it and not losing it. So that's why we have a vending machine that if you do lose it, you have to pay it out of pocket. So they're more responsible for it.
We can the same with mechanics. They can need own tools.
Yes.
Because if you give them a tool, they will lose. And they don't care of it.
Correct.
It's good. Very good idea.
Why you in this program and why you decide Kellogg, not like Harvard or some other school?
That's a good question. Well, there are a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to do an MBA for the last 10 years. I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the time, I was married, my kids were growing up. And then I got to a point where I was like, if I don't do it now, then my daughters are going to be in high school and they were going to start going to college and stuff like that. So this was probably the time to do it or not. And the reason why I chose Kellogg is there are a couple of things. One, I like the campus and I like the location. Since I'm local, I don't have to travel in and out of airports.
But they have booths in Chicago.
Say it again?
They have a booth also in Chicago.
Yes, they do. So one of the reasons was that. And the second thing is Kellogg is more personable. They focus more on the softer skills compared to some of the other programs like Booth or Penn, Wharton. From what I've seen, they're more numbers driven rather than the softer management skills. I see two different classes of MBA schools, right? So MIT, Wharton, Booth, I see those ones more of the hardcore classes in the finance or the tech or those kinds of sections. For management, I think Kellogg, Stanford, Harvard, they kind of group into a better management school, is how I see it. And since out of these three options, this was the closest one and something that I can give my time to, that I don't have to fly in and out of airports, and that's why I chose Kellogg. And of course, the faculty here has been fantastic for the last 6 months. It's mind-boggling. And if you think about it, even in our cohort, right? I mean, a lot of people in our cohorts, they're all accomplished people. They all have, they're well-to-do, they're professionals, they have several PhDs, really good, accomplished professionals, but they're very down to earth. That ego factor, I haven't seen it yet. So that logo that goes, high impact, low ego, I think the entire cohort believes and follows that. So it's a good thing, right? I mean, sometimes success can get to your head, and it doesn't take a long time before you can actually get swayed into the wrong direction.
What is your favorite class or favorite moment for this half year?
That's a good question. I mean, so far, a lot of classes and kickoff weeks and everything that we've done are good. What I really, truly enjoyed was Brian Uzi's class. And the best thing that comes to my mind right now is the Speed Ventures case. I think it was probably the first class that we had with him, or maybe the second one. And how he linked that gasket failure of the car to the Columbia shuttle, exploding. I think that just left such a vivid memory in my mind that it's important to assess risks and not have this risk-taking ability which does not care of the consequences. So that was a very, very good class. That particular, of course, all the other classes have good advantages, but that particular moment was the best moment that I had.
It was first class.
First class.
Yeah,
First
actually,
class.
because you probably would race.
Race or not to race, and they were like, race, baby, race. and then he just shifts the whole thing. And then he says that, okay, so you guys were the executive of such and such company, or you were the engineers of NASA, and you were crunched with time, and you were under the same pressure and all that stuff, and this is the decision that you made. See, the thing is, had he told us ahead of time that this is the Columbia shuttle, then everyone would have known.
Exactly.
Right? But
total different risk.
Correct. But the way he presented it, I think, was mind-boggling.
Agreed. It was also one of my favorite classes. Thank you so much for conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you
enjoyed
very
a lot.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is my friend Ratnesh, and I will ask him questions.
Okay, so thanks for having me.
We'll start. Perfect day like that.
Слава Україні!
What did you do tonight? Tell us.
We did our homework on econ.